back to my Appalachian Life. I'm Joanna, and thank you for stopping by today. I'm just giving you a heads up on what's on the video, what's kind of transpired through this week. And today is Sunday, and it's a beautiful sunny Sunday day today. And this week has been nothing but rain every single day. Barely could get out enough when it's not raining, and it's dry enough to do any work outside this week. But I was able to get the place mowed and do some more cleanup around the outside. But Monday it rained, and I cleaned inside all day long and was able to get the house good and clean. And there just went a hawk. I saw a big shadow go across the yard, and I looked up, and it was a hawk. Anyway, Monday I was able to get the house all cleaned up good. And Tuesday I had a delivery from a local furniture store. I finally found 2 chairs that I really like that goes with the couch that I bought earlier last year. So I'm redoing my living room. So I finally found 2 comfortable chairs, and they are rockers and swivel, and they recline, and they are just really comfortable. And they're not big and bulky. They're kind of small for my small living room, so it's just exactly what I needed, and I was happy to get those. And then Wednesday, I cleaned more house. The lower level I cleaned that day, and my niece, who lives in about an hour and away in Rogersville, she's got 2 little boys, and she's been trying to get winter clothes for them both. They both have outgrown their winter clothes, and she found a nice Eddie Bauer winter jacket for one of the boys, and it was on Marketplace, and it was near where I live, so I went and picked that up for her Wednesday morning. And then Thursday, our church senior group had a day trip planned to Saltville, Virginia. And Saltville, Virginia is full of history, and it was a very interesting trip. And I will just put a link to a video that's online that you can learn a little bit about Saltville. But they produce salt there. And I thought they would mine salt, but no, it's wells that they dig deep into the ground and extract the water, boil the water, and the salt is left. And that salt has been used all over the nation, even in NASA has a purpose for that salt. So it's really, really interesting. And there's a little video clip. We ate at a nice restaurant in a next neighboring town called Chilhowie, and then came home. But that was an interesting trip for Thursday. And then Friday, I had my monthly ladies prayer group meeting, and we had a blessed time in prayer with the Lord that morning. And then I met some friends I used to work with, and we hadn't gotten together since probably sometime in the fall last year. And so we all met at Olive Garden and had lunch together that day. And then I came home, and before the thunderstorm hit, I was able to mow the property around and get a big chunk of the mowing done that Friday afternoon. Then Saturday morning, I started mowing again, did some more planting of flowers, and when the day was over, they were calling for more thunderstorms, and there was one in the horizon while I was working, and I thought I'd better quit, because if it started the lightning, and I could see the lightning, and it was coming straight down in the sky. It hit where my brother Teddy lived, which is probably a 20-minute drive from me, but it didn't come to where I live. So I didn't get any rain or anything out of that. But anyway, I decided to make a quick trip to Lowe's that afternoon, because where I planted the canna lilies, I only had 2. And they were 2 that Lowe's had marked down when I was there before. but I like to plant things in odd numbers. So I thought I'd go back to Lowe's to see if they had any more that they had marked down, and sure enough, they did. And I got a red one, and that's what I wanted. And so now I have a red and a yellow and an orange. So I've still got to get the red one planted. It was too late last night for me to get out and plant those. And of course, I'm not going to do it on Sunday. But anyway, that'll be a project for this week. And while I was at Lowe's, I looked at the rugs, room size rugs, because I need a rug now for my living room. I kept putting off getting one until I got the chairs that I wanted, to know what color was going to be in the chair. And so now I've got those, so I'm going to start looking for a living room rug to tie everything together. And the chairs that I got are a ivory color with a little beige undertone in it. The fabric is like a nubby, cottony fabric, and has a little beige in it. And my couch is beige, so the couch pulls out the beige in those chairs. So anyway, I'm going to show you 2 or 3 pictures of rugs that Lowe's had that I like, and you all comment and let me know which one that you like, and we'll see what I end up with. I'm going to try to go to TJ Maxx, several different TJ Maxxes, and look and see what kind of rugs they have. But I probably need at least an 8 by 10 size rug. So y'all help me out with my choice on the rug. But Teddy came over Saturday evening too, because I'd picked some corn out of the garden, and he was wanting some corn, so he came and got it. And earlier this week too, I think maybe that was Monday after I cleaned house, I decided to get in the car and drive down to the Amish market in Limestone, Tennessee, called Troyer's. And I was looking for some good Amish butter, and they were out that day, but I ended up getting half of the German chocolate cake, which is my favorite, my brother's favorite. Why I bought a half a cake, I don't know. Oh, a weak moment. But I ate about 2 pieces of that cake, and then I sent the rest of it home with Teddy when he came and got the corn last night. But let me see what else. If there's anything else I need to mention. Like I said, in Saltville, it was really interesting, and there's a lot of history going back to the fossils that they have unearthed there. That's very interesting. When the Indians lived there, and then the Europeans came in, then there's a lot of Civil War history, and then the industrial growth took hold, where they came in and started all these wells that they drilled thousands of feet below the earth to retract. And there's truckloads and truckloads and truckloads. I can't remember how many truckloads a day, but it was mind-boggling, of salt going out of Saltville every day. And so it was really interesting. And so I hope you enjoyed that part of the video. Enjoy your week to come. Keep your faith. I'm telling you, this world is getting more wicked by the hour, I think. So we need to know that our faith is where it needs to be, and that we have a relationship with our Father in heaven who created us, and He longs to have a relationship with us. And He loves us so much that He sent His Son to earth to pay our sin debt so that we didn't have to. So all we have to do is believe in Jesus Christ and the sacrifice He made on the cross on our behalf. He paid our sin debt. And we need to confess our sins and ask God to forgive us of our sins, and to come into our heart and take control of our life. And when you do that, you'll be saved. Saved from what? Saved from eternal death in hell forever and ever. And you will have a right relationship with the Father of heavens, the God that made you, our Father in heaven. And when you die, you will be with Him for all eternity, and you won't have to go to that terrible place called hell. So just keep your eyes appealed to the eastern sky, because Jesus could step out on a cloud at any moment and call us back home. That's called the rapture. That's the next thing on the prophetic line to occur, is the rapture. So you need to be ready. It could happen anytime. So without further ado, let's get on with the video. We're here in Saltville, Virginia, and we're going to tour the Appalachian Museum and have lunch. We're on our church senior group today. No, I think it's from your side. The beautiful town of Saltville. They must have entertainment there at that pavilion.
I think that's where they have all of their typical small town. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. Right here at the dam. It's $3 a person.
Yeah, if you remember that shade, that's got a mark. They do.
Good morning, folks. Morning. I'm Janice, and I know where you're from.
Great Tennessee.
Great Tennessee. Well, there's nothing in this world I can tell you.
It's beautiful up there. So he's up near the Shenandoah Valley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, well, yes, and, but look at this now, see, this is a conduit. It's a pipeline, I mean, it's a water line. Yeah. That, to know that you can have wood. Yeah, that's amazing. It's made out of slats of wood and iron. Those are Coopers. This is a Cooper water grill. Metal staves, which are water repellent. I have not.
Well, it's Saturday and we've had rain all week. I did manage to get everything mowed yesterday, but I need to come down and weed eat the steep bank here, and there's another real steep one on up the driveway. So I just came back from the convenience center, taking the trash off this morning, checking the mail, got some more mowing to do, and weed eating today. When I say I stopped to get the mail down there in the mailbox, I should say I'm stopping to get the trash out of the mailbox, because that's all I get these days is just trash. So I'm headed outside to finish up the mowing. I've got to mow the corral area and around behind the barn. I believe I'll do that with the big tractor because I can mow it faster, and it's starting to cloud up like it's going to rain again, so I need to get that done. And I've got 2 canna lily plants that Lowe's had marked down, so I'm going to plant them somewhere too while the ground is soft. And if I still have energy after that and it's not raining, I'll get the weed eater out and start the weed eating up the driveway.
So before I get out and get started, I'm going to make my vanilla protein latte. So it'll be nice and cool when I get in because I'm trying not to eat much today. And that'll be good and refreshing to have when I get in. I'll show you how I make it. I use this Nescafe Gold Espresso, and it also comes in decaf, and I do have decaf, but I think I'll need the caffeine today. So I use 2 heaping teaspoons. This is a teaspoon that I have, and it's a long handle where I can get in there and stir that up. So 2 heaping teaspoons of that. And I use a small water, and it's cold in the refrigerator. And it's a Sam's Club brand, just these little pint. Is it a pint or half pint? How many ounces? 10 ounces. I use that. And I stir that up good to make sure the coffee's good and dissolved. Then I add a container of this Premier protein, and I like the vanilla. So put that in there and stir it up, add a little ice, and you're good to go. And it's a yummy drink, and the protein fills you up and helps you manage your hunger, your cravings, your hunger. So let me get this mixed up. Ready to go in the fridge. And these are my last 2 tomatoes. I've been sitting here to get ripe, where I picked them a little early from the garden. And I think they're just about ripe and I can eat them. So I may fix me a grilled cheese with bacon, lettuce, and tomato when I do eat today. These are the 2 canna lilies that I purchased at Lowe's. I just stuck them down in this pot until I could get them planted. So I hope to get that done today. I need to bring my mini chainsaw back up here. This is where I cleared a lot of undergrowth out of this tree last week. There's still some in there I need to get. It shouldn't take too long to cut those out. And I can call that done. Just add it to my list of things to do today. Now I've got to go over here to open up this corner gate going into the corral so I can get that mowed. Also need to mow around the fence line of this pasture field too. I think there's some limbs up there I need to pick up first. But I like to try to keep this mowed down so I can get in there and weed eat and keep the fence lines cleaned up. All right, let's get little Joe started up. He loved this tractor. Before I got on the tractor, I noticed a wasp nest building up here, so I sprayed it. So I'm getting it started and get out of here before I get stung. Hopefully that spray's killed them. Well, I got her almost filled up with gas, but I'm headed out to the pasture field now to do the tree lines, and didn't want to run out of gas out there. So here we go. The grass is still wet, but it's not so wet that you can't mow, but it's just making a mess on the tires and everything. Well, I picked up the limbs that had fallen out of the tree from the storms this week and just piled them up there for now. Hopefully that'll be all and I won't have to stop anymore to pick up. Well, I got that done, all the fence lines. It's 12 o'clock now, noon. So I'm hot. It's almost 90 degrees out here. So I'm going to go in and drink my vanilla protein latte and rest a bit, and then I'll come back out to work some more if it doesn't start raining. Another indoor break. It's 90 degrees, but I think it feels like 100 outside. So I went back out and planted the 2 cannas. I had to dig out a space in a corner where I wanted to plant them. So I took the weed eater and just weed eated that grass in the corner and then just scalped it to where it's nothing but dirt. Then I took the mattock and dug the holes for the cannas and I got those planted. I need to get some mulch to put in it now. And then I went over to the cherry tree. I'm looking down there at the cherry tree. And I had a pot of sedums sitting down there, so I got those planted in that landscape. And I took my mini saw and started cutting out more of the underbrush under that cedar tree. And when you saw those dead branches in that cedar tree, you just get that fresh smell of cedar. Reminds me of a cedar chest I had when I was younger. But I started getting really hot and felt like I might be getting overheated. So I came in and fixed me a bottle of water with some electrolytes in it. sitting on my chair, comfy chair, and I put this old blanket over it to protect it from my sweat. See, it's a light color. Protect it from my dirt and sweat. And once I cool down, I'll get back out there and hopefully finish that cutting under the tree. So here's the corner where I planted the canna lilies, and instead of getting mulch, I went and raked up some pine needles under the tree. Have them here in this bag. Here's my e-trike. It really comes in handy. And I see a storm on the horizon, so I better hurry up and try to get as much done as I can. Okay, got them mulched in. Going to get my weed eater and my rake, put that back up with this tote, go back up here to the cherry tree. Well, the storm is moving in pretty fast, so I guess I'll quit working under the tree in case it lightning. Now, you don't want to be under a tree in lightning, but I got another pretty good size pile here cleaned out, and I don't lack much more cutting, and it's a shame I can't go ahead and finish it today, but I'll show you what I've got cleared out. I've been watching for poison ivy under here too. I started over here on this side, got a lot of limbs piled up here, but all of this undergrowth right through here, and it's opening it up a lot. There's some right there I've got to cut out. Right there got to cut out, and all of that I got to cut out, plus some dead limbs in this tree that's hanging down. So that will be one day next week. There's the sedum I planted. I started that from a plant that I've got up by the carport, rooted it, and I planted it down here. So once all of this gets established and starts filling in, I think it's going to be really pretty under this tree. One thing I need to do is clean out this bird bath. I need to put some bleach in it. Maybe I can get that done before it starts to lighten. But anyway, work, work, work. I got the tools loaded in the e-trike, and I got my collapsible bag over there. I got to go get it and put that up and shut up the garage so the rain doesn't blow in. Everything put up and checking the garden before I go in. There's lots of little sweet 100s on the vine. The garden is about to dry up. All of my pineapple and beefsteak tomatoes, the only ones on there right now are green ones. None are ripe yet. But I picked 2 or 3 cucumbers and a few of these Juliet tomatoes to put on my salad. Incoming plane. The corn isn't really doing well this year in the garden. It's just not filling much up to the top. I picked about 20 ears last night. First time I've picked it this year, so you can see they're just not getting really big, and it just fills up to about right there. But this is Golden Queen, and this is candy corn. I've had those seed, but I can't remember what they were like. And they may not have grown as well because the seed was really old, and had it for several years in the refrigerator. But I shucked 3 ears for me to cook and eat. And if you all shuck corn, this is the best tool, and I'll link it in the description box. This is a corn silk remover, and it's a little fine silicone brushes, and it gets in the cracks, and it just removes most all the silks off of your corn. It makes it a lot easier, and it's a very inexpensive tool. So as an Amazon associate, you know, I will earn a small commission on qualified products if you purchase from my links in the description. So I appreciate you. Now Teddy said he would like to have some corn, so he's coming sometime today to take this to him and Stephanie, because I'm not going to put any up this year, and that's too much for me to eat, and he can have it all.
All right, it's about 4:30 and I'm cleaned up and hungry, so I made my bacon, lettuce, and tomato with cheese, or grilled cheese with bacon, lettuce, and tomato, however you want to say it. But I'm ready to eat. It looks good.